Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing okay today. I've been a little sad because people that I would like to be close to, I just can't. And I know that it says, that in the scriptures that many hearts will wax cold in these end times. But I've never been around hearts that weren't cold or pretended not to be. Um, really ever. So um, I wonder how long this end time is going to go on. You know, I suppose you're feeling the same ways too, and things seem to be escalating in the world. But then I still always wonder, is it because of social media that we're more aware of what's going on in the world, that it's always been like this? That's what I think. You know, I do have faith that it will be better someday. And I think before I leave this earth, um, I'll see things making its way to, you know, a betterment for mankind. I hope. But yeah, it's been a rather sad day, you know, because that's what I'm thinking about today. What's on my mind is I grew up hearing that I was like over emotional, or that wasn't the words they would say. Too sensitive is what they would say. I don't think there's any such thing. I think sensitivity and being an emotional being is part of what is being a human being, you know, unless your emotions are just anger and rage, and then there's nothing human about that. So, I don't know. Just just speaking my mind today. Excuse me a moment. Wanted to take the time to thank my new subscriber. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you being here. Whoever listens is it's sweet of you. Thank you. Or if you do find it valuable, like to just to have that connection with another sweet person out there is a big deal to me. So I heard that they took the Bible off the bestsellers list. Yeah, that figures, you know, kind of falls in line with everything else they're doing. I mean, they changed the scriptures so bad anyway that people are just like way out of whack. And in something I'm going to speak on might not resonate with a lot of people, but to me, it hurts my feelings. So I'm just going to say it like it is. And I do have a lot of mixed blood in me. So I don't care who thinks what. But I've listened to a couple people. One guy, I think, is starting to realize he's African American, um, that he should probably address everybody because we are all God's children. And when you separate them, like, oh, this one's that one, like an Israelite, or this one's like a Christian, or whoever, um, we couldn't surely be doing what our Father has commanded us to do, is to love everybody. And also, He's commanded us to hate what is evil, you know. And so, I mean, that comes in all colors. We all know that. But I've ran across several people, and just another new person I listened today. Um, what he was speaking in the scriptures was beautiful. how he was pointing it and his hatred towards people with less pigment in his skin than him was really hurtful and painful to listen to. Um, there's a lot of that going on. And that is what our government wants us to do to each other, you know? So they're just like, or I won't even say government, that's what Satan wants, you know? Are they doing his bidding? Well, maybe not. Well, yeah, I believe they know just what they're doing. Maybe not on the level of that they couldn't be forgiven or anything like that, but they're surely picking a side. I mean, right now, I mean, okay, maybe about 5 years ago, if you had told me that all white men were like demonistic or whatever, I might have even kind of thought to go along in that direction, you know, because of the way that they're acting. It's just like Klaus Schwab, for instance, saying that he doesn't need God because they're going to become their own gods, you know. Well, that person of no pigment at all is a world leader influencing a lot of people, you know. And so I can see where communities that have people of color in them would look upon that aspect of a white person being demonistic. But right now in my life, at least from what I can tell, my favorite person to listen to is a white person. So, not anybody I know personally, you know, but maybe he's not entirely white. And see, there's a lot of families that have mixed blood in them and in you, and you have like a great grandmother or a whoever, wherever down the line that could pass as a white person, and they would. Who thinks that we should abolish all the, if race doesn't matter, then we should take it off job applications and government forms, especially government forms. You know, why would it matter? I mean, gender, yeah, that would be something we'd want to know on a government form or even on a job application. But what your skin color is shouldn't have anything to do with it, or, you know, even who you identify as, if, because they're going to start, you know, other. I mean, that might be okay as far as heritage is concerned, but it doesn't apply to the two genders that we have without the retarded intervention, you know. So, yeah. But I know Satan's been working overtime. His people are getting tired. I can tell they're very tired. Not that they're tired of living large or getting anything they want at any time they want it. I'm sure they're not tired of that. The rest of us have never really had that. Um, you know, when you have to work hard for everything you get in your life and you still don't have everything you need. Well, you'll probably have what you need. It's like I was talking to somebody last week and they were saying, well, they can't just eat what they want to eat when they want to. Well, I haven't always been able to, and I still kind of don't in a way. I'm kind of subject to how I'm feeling on that day and what I can do for myself to help myself. that plays a great big role on how I'm treated in my life. And it does for anybody if you have a job, but it shouldn't be that way in a personal relationship. But that's just my situation at the time. But I think you get what I'm saying about people's cold hearts. I'll never get used to it. I mean, that's not being overly sensitive. Fuck, you know? And some days I get rather angry about it, you know? Today, I had a horrible day for it, you know? Oh, plus my sink was clogged up and I was sitting there trying to get it unstuck. I finally did, kind of, sort of. But it's crazy. But I don't know. I hope you get what I'm saying. You know, some days are better than others, and the last few ones, well, especially they've been coming down hard as far as they, meaning like the people in the positions of power that are able to change our language like they did with the scriptures, and to have even men and women and people of different colors at each other's throats for absolutely no reason. The only reason that there is because they're lying to everybody, and it isn't supposed to be like this on this planet, you know? So, anyway, cheers. I hope you're doing good. And I'm going to be better. Probably after I get through talking, I'll feel a little bit better. But yeah. Plus, I don't know if I over exercised yesterday or what, but um, my leg was cramping up last night, and oh, like a few times. And I do think it was because I really, really did a lot of exercising yesterday. And some days I can, and other days it hurts. And today's one of them hurt days. So because I'm trying to keep. See, I was so injured so many times in succession, just like one thing right after another. I wasn't even able to heal from one thing where another thing would happen to me until I started throwing back to the dark force what they were putting on me, and things started happening to them. What was happening to me lessened. Isn't that something? That's true. Doug and I were talking about karma today, and I told him, well, what if you've paid all your karma and things are still happening to you because the minions of Satan get together and they attack you? What then? Well, then their karma's going to go back on them. He said, yeah, he believed in it. And I said, well, then next time you fall and you're down there on the ground, you might want to take some responsibility for the things that you've done and recognize them and do something so you won't be doing them again, you know. So I haven't taken the time to monkey with that video of his. I'm going to make a point, like at least by next Monday, and I'll probably do it. I was going to do it today, but it just, like I say, wasn't a really good day. I got a ton of wood in too, and we got a big snowstorm coming in. So, at least from what they say, I'm not sure, but I think it seems like there was sprinkles last night, about an inch and a half, and a big one missed us because they had predicted that it would be like a foot or 2 feet by the time we get through with the rest of the snow coming in. So I'll just have to see. But it is really cold out and miserable, and I didn't sleep good. So yeah, like I say, just one of them days. So But tonight's gonna be a easy supper. It's just gonna be a pizza, you know. Just throw it in the oven. I had some more of my bean soup last night. That could have been part of my cramping problem too, because the the beans and the onion in there that I'm allergic to. And, but I can have carrots and celery. I had garlic in there and some ham. So some of it was like okay, and it feels good in my body not to eat a whole bunch of solid stuff sometimes. And I love bean soup, but I shouldn't have had it 2 days in a row. That might have been a big part of my leg cramping too, because potatoes will do that to me. I don't know if it affects other people like that, but if you have like what they would call restless leg syndrome, mine is on a level 1000. It's beyond restless leg. It's like cramping up. But then I had a really, really bad beating on my leg and a ski accident. And so I have some problems with that same leg and broken toes on the same side and more. But just for instance, a few accidents on this in the same spot probably doesn't do that any good either. So raise your hand if you're sore. you know. So anyway, if I do get cut off, and I hope I don't, I hope I can go out the way I usually do. But yeah, I love you all. I really do. I love the whole world. I really do. Even the mean people. That's why I feel so bad, Because even if they realize they don't care, and that's something I'll never get used to it. I don't know about you, but I don't deal with that very well. It just doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I'm having a little bit of a rough day. Pardon me. So, yeah, it's hard. I do get mad. Sometimes that helps, you know, really. Because you can't be just tough all the time and just take it and take it and take it and not say nothing about it. Doesn't work very well all the time. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know how you all feel about that, but, you know, people are out there like, oh, one loving themselves to death with their religious ways or non religious ways or spiritual ways or whatever it is. And they can say it, but their actions speak differently, So, yeah. And then it's upsetting to know that people are sleeping in tents. You know how cold it is out there? And drugs coming over in our country and all the mess, the toxins, the things that the evil people are actually doing to other people. It's hard to live, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, now I'm a little overwhelmed. I better just calm down. But yeah, I have my days. Sorry. People are cruel, man. They really are. I told Doug, I said, you fuckers are lucky that I'm not violent. Because if I unleashed all the shit they did to me on them, there would be nothing left. That's a fact. But fortunately for them, I'm not like that. You know? In some weird way, though, and I don't know if it's true or maybe I'm flippin' delusional, excuse me, but it seems like Doug's listening more when I say something. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's getting older and I'm scary. I don't know. Because I see the fear. There's no doubt. When I'm pissed, he knows I'm about ready to want to cremate him. I can see it, you know. And he used to push that. Now, maybe it's fear of actually being incarcerated because the forces of evil, in some respects, none of them care about each other. So, even if he ended up in that type of predicament, he'd be able to get out of it quickly. But it may not stop it initially if I snuck something on him. You know, if I premeditate something, he would know. But if I did something spur of the moment, you never know. And that could be a little bit of the fear too, whether it's an actual emotion or Christ is actually in there talking to him. He says he had prayed to God today, not for himself but for other people. But I said, "What God are you talking to?" Because the way he was responding to me wasn't like a godly man. And I asked him to tell me, who do you have, one person on this planet besides me, that would stand beside you? And who do you have that would call you a good man? Because you're not a good man and you're not a nice man. And lately, when I've been saying that, and I haven't said that before, not much, not like that, but it seems like he's kind of hearing me. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm delusional, but it seems like it. I don't know. I don't have hope for the future like that. Don't get me wrong. That part I'm not delusional about because a person's heart can only be hurt so much by a individual, and then it's like, well, yeah, you gotta build a wall and you gotta keep your distance because really, when you've suffered a broken heart several times in your life, and it is a physical thing, there's actually been studies taken that your actual heart does get it, your left ventricle swells because of the pain and the sorrow. You can only handle so much physically. And that's what I'm guarding myself from with my, it's a tough act. Maybe a tough act to follow, but yeah, it's a tough act because that's not who I am inside, you know. And I don't like that being brought out in me. Now, if that's brought out in me, then that's not acting. That's what I am at that moment, being in this flesh and still having God on my side and hating what is being done to me. And I have that right to defend myself. Now, the Lord is my vengeance because I'm not premeditating any vengeance on anybody. That's all on them. What they get, what they receive is what they give out. And I wish that for everybody, good or bad. In fact, I passed around a meme that I loved, and other people liked it pretty well too. It's like instead of saying, have a nice day, start saying, have the day you deserve. That's sweet. I like that. Because I started telling people I will love you on your level. I'll talk to you on your level and communicate with you on your level. What more could a person do? you know. So yeah, please excuse my crybaby shit today. It's I don't even I used to get really if I cried then I'd get mad. I don't do that anymore. I just don't cry a lot. But probably a couple, two, three times a year I get a little leaky and you know and like I say, just having like aches and pains, that's enough to make a person cry anyway, you know. And then sometimes I think, did these people really mistake my meaning and who I am and how I am? No, it's no mistake. Oh, it's another thing that they're gonna do now. Google over in, I think it's Europe, is going to start. It's called, instead of like a disinformation committee, they have a pre disinformation thing where if they see like a post or a comment or whatever that is, that before the public can view what they deem to be anything like that, Google is going to start removing that from their sites. And they are doing that right now. I think they said in Europe. Um, yeah. And one more disgusting thing that I should touch on today with uh, Zelensky over in the Ukraine not wanting to even go to the table and talk to China about world peace, and we're involved in that. Do us, as United States citizens, have any say so in that? And where are our Congress people stepping up for us and saying, hey, uh, they're preparing chemical bombs, and or do they have to really prepare them? Is our government doing enough all by themselves with their negligence to pollute our planet so bad that it actually won't recover for thousands of years? You know, like they say, the human being's the only species stupid enough to destroy their own environment, their own habitation, pushing electric vehicles on people with lithium batteries that never, the toxins never die, and little children are mining so people can say that they're clean and green when the carbon emission out of the fossil fuel creates the CO2, isn't it? Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't go into science today. It might not be a good day, but anyway, that would actually create the vapor canopy again, and plants would grow even bigger because of the methane release, like from cows or whatever. Yeah, if I had a pot plant and I went and put it in a dairy farmer's barn, that thing would go crazy. Oh, yeah, it would. Not that the cows wouldn't want to eat it, you'd have to keep it safe, but what a place to grow a plant. It would thrive. We should do an experiment. Put it on the. I wish I still had my horse. She did die, but I mean, if somebody has a livestock, a large animal, try that experiment. Put a plant by your animal where it can't eat it, but they're in close proximity, and then grow another one relatively the same age and see how they do. Prove it. We can do this, you know? Well, I'm going to let you go. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you being here. And maybe my sentiment's pretty good for some people. Just wake you up because emotions are real and emotions shouldn't be suppressed when they're legitimate, you know. All right, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at. I love you. I'll be doing okay. I'm always okay. I'm happy inside. It's just kind of like I said, a hard day. Talk to you soon.